Hey everyone, it's Stephanie with Bottom of the Bin, and today I'm so excited to be making some greeting cards for my wonderful Patreons for the month of July. So I was going back and forth on what type of theme they should be. I thought maybe something to do with like the rainy season, but I was like, oh, that's probably like pretty much just in Florida. Then I thought maybe we could do some sort of beach theme or picnic theme, and I looked through some of my, stamps and cardstock and things like that. And nothing really jumped out at me. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'll just do like some florals like I normally do. But then I found some stamps with these really cute Pegasus unicorns. And I was like, okay, this would be so cute if I had them like coming off of a rainbow. And then as soon as I said rainbow, I pretty much envisioned coloring it in with my Spectrum Noir glitter sparkle markers, which I've had for a bit. I've only ever really tested them out. I've never really sat and used them for like a full project. And one of the unbinning videos that we did recently, which is part of our series, I bought an 80-year-old lady's entire collection of craft supplies. It had some of those Spectrum Noir glitter pens or glitter markers in clear. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need these because I don't think I have the clear ones, which I didn't. So that was like a great, great find. And so instantly, like in my brain, I was like, oh, the rainbow has to be colored in with these markers. It's going to be so cute, so pretty. And it actually came out really cute. So right here, it's a little bit hard to tell because as you're drawing with them, it looks kind of dull, but the really cool thing about these is as it dries, it becomes super sparkly and super glittery. You really don't have to do anything or add anything to them or layer them on top of each other, nothing. You just paint it on, let it dry, and then watch the sparkles emerge. And well, first of all, I found this like rainbow because I was trying to think of, I had like a rainbow stencil or stamp. I couldn't find anything, so I went into Canva and put a couple images together to make this one. And I was hoping for something with a few more layers of the rainbow so I could get some more colors in there, but I didn't find anything that really jumped out because I like these ones with the clouds and I like that it was kind of off balance, so there was room to put the unicorn or the Pegasus, whatever you want to call it. And so I added the stars, but spoiler, later in the video, you'll see that I end up cutting out the stars because I kind of made the image just a little bit too big for the cards. So I ended up having to cut out the rainbows instead of leaving like the white background. But I think it actually came out much cuter than that. So it's a really good example of when a mistake turns into a good thing. And so these are the colors I chose: red, green, blue, and then I found like a purpley pink to kind of make up for not having purple and pink. And I figured I would bring the yellow in with the stars, which again ended up not happening. And I was looking for a super pale blue for the clouds. And even though it looks like there's one in the marker bin over there, it was more of a like a turquoise. So I ended up just using the clear one. I thought I left that part in the video, but looks like I cut that part out. But yeah, the clouds were just like a clear shimmer. And so these are the really cute Pegasus stamps that I had. And I thought that they would be adorable with the rainbow, that they would just fit in perfectly. So I'm using my Misty stamping platform to create these. And it looks like I'm only doing one card because I didn't want to like show all three processes over and over and over again. But basically it's three separate cards. And so I made three of those and then three of these sentiments, which actually are super cute. It says, wishing you the best day ever. I love that so much. It's just so fun and lighthearted, and I thought it would be really perfect for summer. And I thought I would make each of the backgrounds a different color, so even though a single card is only going to have one color, it still looks like a rainbow spread out between the three of them. And so I picked red, green, and blue to really go with like this primary bold rainbow color. Now, I personally love pastels, but I thought this would be a great color palette for this. And I don't think the Spectrum Noirs come in pastel anyway. I'm not actually sure. And well, maybe there is like a light pink one that I'll use later. I haven't even used every single color yet, but I do plan to do some art journaling with them, so you'll see more of those. And here you can kind of see that the clouds look white, but they do have that shimmer layer on them. So when you like move it around in the light, you see all the sparkles. And I'm using my Tim Holtz fussy cutting scissors to kind of go around the rainbow. And this This took a lot longer than I thought. In hindsight, I maybe should have used like the bigger version of the scissors. And for me, it's just so hard to cut out anything that's kind of circular like this. So that's why I'm making all these tiny little movements. It was really painstaking, especially having to do it 3 times. And on one of them, I don't know if it was this one or a different one, I went a little bit too close. So I tried to keep a bit of the white border so that it popped, but I struggled with that. And then it was also really hard because I couldn't find a great place to hold it without getting the shimmer all over me, which, by the way, I obviously cut this part out of the video, although it would have been funny to see. One of the markers exploded onto the rest, and so I didn't realize till like the third marker in that every time I picked one up, I was just covered in green color. And so finally I realized what it was, and I wiped them all off. I put them into a different container. I had to clean my desk off, and then my fingers were like stained green, and it kept happening with every marker I would pick up. So yeah, I don't know if you'll be able to really see it because it's kind of like between my fingers where I was holding the paint pen. So if you spot my fingers being green, that is why. But luckily, once it dried, it didn't really rub off or anything, just like the sparkle part did. So I wasn't worried about that getting on me. I was just worried about, making the image dull, but it ended up working out pretty good. I don't think anything really came off. And I ended up having to lose the stars by doing this, but you'll see in the end, I end up adding my own stars anyways. So here is our beautiful rainbow, and here it is against the blue background, just to get an idea. And now I'm taking the sentiments and I just trimmed them down, and I'm using a tape runner to tape them onto the background first, like the border. I always do it this way just so I get it as even as I can. And then I'm going to go through with my paper trimmer and like cut off the edges to make it, make it even. I think they came out really, really pretty. And I cut this part of the video out as well, but I made my own card bases, which I always do. I use a very thick cardstock, and I cut it to size from like an 8.5 by 11 sheet. And then I use a score tool and a bone tool to put the dent in, like the increase in the paper, and then fold it over and fold it down so it stays shut. And there's my tape runner again. It is the brand AdTech. I know a few people were asking about what it was. AdTech, TECH. I get them on Amazon. I buy the refills in bulk because I go through so many of them, but this is my favorite one. I've used quite a few different brands, and this is the one that I like the most. So now we're just getting all of our backgrounds taped down to our card bases. So again, the primary colors we're using here are red, green, and blue. And I'm just paying very careful attention to make sure that it's laid down straight. And see, like the rainbow just barely fits, but I think it's fine. I think it ended up working out. And so now that those are taped down, I'm coloring in the unicorns, or the Pegasus. And I kind of debated if I should do it in colored pencil or regular marker. And then I was like, no, let's just go full on sparkle, full on shimmer, full on glitter, and make these little babies shine. They're so freaking cute. I love them so much. I love their horns. I love their wings. I love their mane. They have like the cutest little faces. So yeah, this might be a stamp that I end up using, several times. I do also have, I was looking for like a large stencil that was a rainbow, but I have one that's like a rainbow background, and I've actually used it in a previous video. It's the one with the, I can't remember what the animals was. I think they were bears hanging off some balloons. And so that one I used the rainbow background that I just like stenciled in. But again, I wanted like this big, large rainbow to color in. So I'll probably make more cards with these and that rainbow background. And I do have some more unicorns. I've been kind of collecting a lot of like fantasy and fairy tale stuff because that's really my favorite thing in my aesthetic. So I love unicorns, I love rainbows, I love mermaids, I love fairies, and just all of like that magical stuff, the mythical creatures, and I don't know, just bright colors and pure happiness. In fact, I'm working on a fairy tale 3D, like really 3D art journal. There's a few videos back where I created my first spread, and I've been saving a bunch of stuff so that I can keep making more of those as well. And so I know a lot of the fairy stamps and stencils are going to come in handy for that. So yeah, this is one of my favorites. And I I realized literally after I had already cut out, I think all three of them, or maybe like by the halfway of the third one, that these stamps came with the matching dies, which means I could have ran them through a die cut machine and it would have cut them out for me instead of having to go through and get every tiny nook and cranny with my scissors. But it's okay. Maybe it came out better this way. I know that sometimes they don't align perfectly and you end up cutting off part of your image. Or I had ones where no matter what I did, the die did not match the stamp. And I was so upset because it kept cutting off my little penguin's feet. So I had to fussy cut those anyways for like a Christmas card that I made a while back. And so yeah, I guess cutting these out wasn't the worst thing ever. And I think I did a pretty good job. Getting around the tail was kind of hard and parts of the hair, but I mean, ultimately it's a handmade card. There's going to be little flaws and imperfections. And these are things that I used to really stress about and get on myself about and redo it or try to cover it up. We have like a saying among my friends where we say, it doesn't have to be perfect to be good. It doesn't have to be perfect to be good. So I try to remind myself of that and I let the flaws be. I can point some of them out if you're curious, because I wonder if other people see them too, or if it's like when you're looking at yourself and you see flaws and nobody else does, if it's kind of that scenario. And I guess it doesn't really help that, the camera washes things out a little bit, but on the cloud and that middle card, the red card, there's a little bit of purple marker that got onto the cloud. And then where the blue meets the green on that same card, there's a bit of the blue marker that got onto the green. So those were two little things that just bothered me, but I let it go. I let it go. And yeah, just proceeded on with the card creation. So here are our cute little Pegasus. Oh my gosh, I love them so much. I try to vary up the colors so they didn't all look exactly the same. I really try to make all of my cards unique, even if I'm using the same elements. And here I'm just playing around with the configuration until I find the one that works best. And I thought that was super cute because you still have a little bit of empty space like in the middle of the rainbow. And so it's a bit off balance, off centered, but it really works. It just, I don't know, I think it looks great. So all three of my patrons are going to get these. I haven't decided who gets what yet. I know that like they have their own favorite colors, which I didn't really use. One of them likes green and pink, so maybe she'll get the green card. The other one likes purple, so maybe I'll give her the blue card because blue's kind of close to purple. And the third one likes pink, so maybe I'll give her the red card. But yeah, there was no real thought in which one is going to go to who because they are pretty much the same. And so here was my solution for not having stars. At first I was just going to kind of leave it be, or I thought maybe I could glue down some gems or even use like one of these sparkle pearl dots, but I decided to just go with this sort of bold yellow color, which I had in these pearl dots. I forget what brand this one is. It's not the Stickles because those ones are glittery. It's a different brand. And I just thought that it was the perfect color. It's sort of this golden yellow. And as you can see, I'm really struggling with these stars, but I still think it came out super cute. I don't know. I'm like not an artist in the sense of I can't draw. I struggled with that for a really long time too. I would always say, I'm not an artist because I don't know how to draw. And people would tell me, no, just because you can't literally draw does not mean you're not an artist. There's all sorts of forms of art. And some people have a hard time putting cards together, putting, images together, putting colors together. And I seem to be, fairly decent at that. And so I was like, okay, fine. I will concede and I will call myself an artist. It still feels really weird saying that, especially when I can't even draw a star. But yeah, again, it's charming. It's handmade. It's not perfect. If you wanted a perfect card, you can get one that was created by a machine that made millions of the same card, or you can get something that is absolutely unique in every way. And yeah, I love the stars, especially against the blue. They all came out really adorable. I'm really happy with the way that they came out, and I hope you all like them too. Now, if you want to become one of my patrons, there is a link to sign up in the description. There is a monthly fee that you pay, and I send you a gift every month, which includes depending what tier you get. This one includes a greeting card and stickers. And I write a handwritten message inside of the cards. However, if you want one blank, just make sure you request that and I'll make sure not to put anything in them so that you can regift them. And speaking of cards, our 80-year-old lady, our legacy crafter from the Unbending series, is turning 80 in July. I know, shocker, she's not quite 80 yet. We've been gathering cards for her. I'm going to be making one in a separate video. So if you want a card sent to her, I would suggest getting it out to our shop, Bottom of the Bin, as quick as possible. You can find our address on our website, bottomofthebin.com. I do plan to send those cards out in the next week and a half, maybe 2 weeks top. So if you're watching this video, you have time to make one and send it to us really quickly. But yeah, I'd love to be able to send her a gift. So far, we have the card I'm making. I think some of my staff might make her a card. And then I have a couple that some of you sent already. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed our Pegasus rainbow cards, and make sure to leave a comment below to let me know what type of card or art project you want to see next. Bye!